Welcome everybody to episode number 60 of Gaming Culture Radio. I'm your host Tyler, senior staff writer on XboxCulture.net, joined by our three normal co-hosts, starting with Mike. How you doing today?
And kind of like Joe Piscopo and Candy Cane Factory, brother. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. So also joining us is staff writer for XboxCulture.net, Graham. How you doing, sir?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you calling me normal. Most people don't.
I'm point to that.
I'm doing great. It's a long weekend. It's Canada's 150th birthday.
Nobody
so
cares.
There's lots. Oh, Canada cares, and there's lots of reason for celebration. And there's cold beers everywhere. So
everyone's drunk on the maple syrup today.
Yeah, everyone's.
There's just the streets are flowing.
Syrup. Actually, it's gonna be tomorrow, but the whole weekend, yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be anarchy to maple syrup and Red Bull.
And it's like NHL free agency day tomorrow, Graham. So it's like double for you guys.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's
like
turn
over cars in Vancouver.
You guys are like taking a whole week off, probably.
I know.
Maybe we'll pick up Yager, seeing he's looking for a team.
Maybe. And
okay, go ahead.
All right. And joining us, staff writer for Xbox Culture, Eugene. How you doing?
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
I'm great. You've been on too many conference calls.
Yeah. Lay off the drugs, man.
So
what? No, Eeyore.
It's Friday.
No. Yeah. He just sounds like every single conference call we have at work. But anyway, you can join in the conversation by going to Facebook and joining the Gaming Culture Radio forums. And while you're there, make sure to ask questions to be read on the show if they're read. And you'll be entered to win in our monthly giveaways. And if yours is selected as the winner and you contact us back, which means you listen to the show, then we'll get you a pretty cool prize. We're giving one away tonight. It's a game code, so that's pretty cool. And
whoa,
yeah. So also just wanted to I'll mention, well, first of all, you can follow us on Twitter at Gaming Cult Radio and join the conversation there. We had to shorten the name, so whatever. But and I just wanted to go over a few things from June with everybody, and just we've kind of gone and congratulated everybody on Facebook, but just wanted to do it on the show real quick. So in the month of June for E3, and we had a lot of extra coverage for E3, which is awesome, and we really enjoyed doing it. We eclipsed 15,000 downloads in the month of June.
Yay!
Which is more than the show had in the previous 11 months combined.
Right.
So the growth that we had in the month of June is awesome, and we want to thank everybody that's new to the show. You guys are great. And we've seen the numbers go up on the Facebook group. If you haven't joined it yet, please do. It's a pretty cool place to talk about gaming and have a chance to win some cool stuff. Also, we had our four based episodes were Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and then the Bethesda episode as well. So had a lot of good response to those, which is awesome. And just everything's going really well, moving in the right direction. So we're really happy about that. Thank you guys so much for listening. And make sure, if you see us on iTunes, hit that subscribe button, and please go rate us 5 stars. Really helps out the show and helps us grow. And the more we grow, the more cool stuff we're going to give away.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, so we want to thank you guys again. It was a great month for us. We had a lot of fun. It was a little tiring that week, but it was all for a good reason, and it was a lot of fun. So, all right, let's move into the news of the week. And yeah, not a whole lot this week, but there is some stuff to talk about.
There's something very exciting to talk about.
Yeah.
Says you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So first off, analysis from DFC Intelligence has the Xbox One X selling 17 million units by the year 2021. Now, before we talk about this, I just want to put it into context. The PS4 Pro has already sold 12 million units. Do you guys buy this number? Do you think this is close? Do you think this is right?
I say malarkey. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't know where they base this numbers off or what it's based on. So I think this number is way off. I don't have a prediction, but they're saying 2021. Like, this is a long time down the road, and they only think you're going to sell 17 million. And like, there's going to be price drops. There's going to be specials. There's going to be deals, maybe package deals. So I think this number is way off. I just don't have a prediction. What do you guys think?
So here's what I'm going to throw back at you real quick. Okay, so
sure.
3 of us going into E3 were pretty much set on buying the Scorpio, which became the One X. And as soon as E3 was done, a couple of us started walking that back and saying, well, I'm not sure now. I want to see and we'll wait. And I think that's what a lot of people might be doing.
Yeah,
It's
but
only
I see
because
it.
it's
Go
only
ahead.
because I have a terrible drug problem.
No.
Gotta
know
keep the
this.
funds high.
We tried to ignore it.
Yeah, but I do see the consensus around like on chats and on websites that a lot of people say they're going to get it. So,
Mhm.
and I know for people who don't have an Xbox One S, this is probably more for them, the way for them to go. So people like me, for example, who have an Xbox One S, because I've been kind of on the fence to whether I'm going to get it day one or not. Because I
Well,
was thinking, okay, because I have the laptop that can handle 4K and I want to get to HTC Vive, so I'm like, okay, if I do get the Xbox One X, well then goodbye HTC Vive. So then
Mhm.
that's kind of like my tipping point right now.
so Graham, let me ask you this. You have a 4K TV,
Yes,
which you invested a decent amount of money in, I'm sure.
yes.
How much does your cable provider broadcast in 4K?
I get like 4, 5 channels, maybe 6. That's
So-
it.
so
and
not
only
much.
sports. Not much at all.
So why have it if you're not going to take advantage of it? And this is an opportunity to take advantage of it and have a lot of games in 4K. True native 4K.
It is. It's just a price point where I could spend this money in other areas. And the Xbox One S do upconvert. I know it's not near as
Mhm.
nice as the native 4K, but there's nothing really like I gotta have this. So
And I agree. On the games front, I agree with you. But here's where I'll come back again, because I did the same thing. I bought a 4K TV. And I thought about it too. But then I had to think, you know what? It's not like they're charging $700 for this thing. If it was a $300 or $400 difference, yeah, that's a thing. But if I've already invested in the TV and I want the content, is $100 really going to scare me off at this point?
no,
You
there's
know.
a really good chance I will buy this day one.
So
But
I mean,
until
yeah.
day one comes, I will still probably be humming and hawing and
Mhm.
thinking about
Yeah,
my
Hemming and
decision.
hawing and
Because I bought this with two things. I bought the TV with two things in mind. One, the fact that Scorpio had already been announced with native 4K. And two, that I wanted to watch movies in 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason
So
I bought it
those
as well.
were the two biggest reasons. And if I let one of those reasons scare me off over $100 difference when I've already invested this much, to be honest, then I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
that's the right decision. But
But 100%, I will pre-order it once the pre-order comes live. So where I got it pre-ordered, it's doubtful that I'll cancel it, but I will pre-order it. So
I just can't believe we're having this conversation with a guy who actually thought about spending $800 on a Lord of the Rings movie collection.
Or, buying
Never
a
gonna let
Fallout.
him live
How
that
many
down,
times
are
have
you?
you bought Fallout 4?
at least 4 times.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Okay. So let me get my 2 cents in
All
there
right,
real
go
quick.
for it.
I was kind of
It'd
I
be
was
five,
a little
actually.
bit I was a little bit baffled by the number at first, but after thinking about it a little bit, I think that is a good prediction. I'm pretty sure, because we see 17 million for a console. We're like, whoa, that's really low, because like the Wii U only sold 12 million consoles total. But we're not thinking about how many Xbox Ones and Xbox One S's have sold, which I think they're at like what 35 million right now. Is that does that sound about right?
Yeah, about
35
35, right around there. Yeah.
Yeah, so about 35 million. So that's at least half that. So a 4-year prediction specifically for the Xbox One X, I think that is a good number, because I still think they will push it as the premium version of the Xbox. They're
Yes.
still gonna have their Xbox One S. I think the original Xbox One will get off the market completely, and they'll
Yeah.
just have the Xbox One S probably next year, and with also the Xbox One X as a premium version. But we say it's $100 investment, but I don't really consider it $100 investment. I consider it a $500 investment, because I've already spent $300 on
Right,
the Xbox
but-
the Xbox One S, and then I
Right.
spent $500 on the original Xbox when it came out with the Kinect. So it's more of a $500 investment for me. I do have a 4K TV. I don't have full HDR capability, but I think that is a good number for the people that either upgrade to this premium console or will buy a new Xbox console in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, just for
So-
comparison,
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the price of the Xbox One Elite when it came out? With the Elite controller,
You mean
It was $499.
it was $499.
Yep.
Okay, so
And
all right.
and where I'm getting the $100 from, just to be clear for everybody, is if this thing was $400, which we were all hoping for, we'd all be buying it. So, and we were all saying I think $400 is kind of the sweet spot to really make a dent into Sony's lead, and they came on at $5. So now what I'm referencing when I talk about that $100 is that difference.
Yeah, I totally understand. It's just that we forget how many people have already adopted the Xbox, and how many people will upgrade to this premium console version, which I still think 17 million is still a good number. 17 million still.
Well,
it sounds like it's a long period of time, but we got to keep in mind that more than likely, when do you think we'll see new consoles? 2019.
Well, so 2019. I was gonna get to that in a sec, but yeah, go ahead. Maybe.
So I think the next iteration of consoles will probably be 2019, 2020 at the latest. So 2021 is already past that date. When we'll get the new iterations. I think it's a fair number, and it's a fair comparison. But we'll see how the Xbox One X sells. I really think it'll sell out this holiday season for sure, because I think it will be a hard console to find.
I think the 17 is low because for two reasons. One, it's the most powerful console out there. So you're going to have your video files or whatever. They're going to want that. And they're going to just want that highest level technology. And two, in less than a year, the PS4 Pro has already sold 12 million. I don't see those numbers lining up. And what the study, et cetera, the article said was that the PlayStation just provides such a much better value proposition. And that can be argued. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I will say that right now, the PS4 Pro for $400 and the Xbox One X for $500, there's a dramatic difference in quality of those consoles.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's where, what the trick for Microsoft is to stop having the conversation where people are comparing them as if they're the same. Because they're not. And right now, the conversation is they're the same. And that's what has to change. Like this article based it off of they're the same. Mm-hmm. There's a huge technological difference and capability difference between these two consoles. And that's what has to be understood before you factor in that price difference, I think.
But the way I look at it is that, sorry, Mike, just real quick, the general population, though, and I know we're hardcore gamers, we're hardcore Xbox fans, we're more apt to buy it. But I think about the moms and the dads that are buying it for their kids, and even kids with people with part-time jobs or people that can't spend $500. If they're to play, if they're to buy a console, they only have so much money. I think they're going to get the version that you can still play all the greatest games, but it just won't be. We're not arguing that the Xbox One X isn't. It is the most powerful console of all time. Mm-hmm. It's just that I can still play all the games on Xbox One or Xbox One S. Sorry, Mike.
For sure.
No, you're fine. First of all, who is DFC Intelligence?
Oh, they're an organization that does studies like this for gaming groups, and they've done them before on sales things, and they've generally been fairly close to correct. And in fact, we referenced studies of theirs on our show before, but this number just really stood out to me.
What Eugene was saying about the regular Xbox One being phased out and the Xbox One S being the regular everyday Joe is right. Oh, yeah. And the prices, I mean, you can already get the Xbox One S for less than $200. The same thing is going to happen with the X. It's going to come down. Games come down so much faster now in price. Consoles are going to do the same thing. And I just think that number is just a little low. I really do. And I'm being conservative when I say a little. So
I think 25 is a fair number. That's me. But
yeah, I'd say it's going to be about 20.
The other factor,
I was going to say 20.
Yeah, the other factor I'd bring in though is a lot of this depends on when the PlayStation 5 comes out. And we're going to get to that a little later in the news here. But if the PlayStation 5 comes out next year, that's going to throw off, the One X, depending on how much the PS5 is.
I don't think we'll see it next year.
If it comes out,
make a guess.
Yeah, if it comes out in 19, then the One X has some time to dominate the market. Plus, I can't see the PS5 being a whole lot more powerful than the One X as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if say it does come out in 19, the One X is going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than the PS5 will be at launch.
Right.
So
a lot cheaper.
And then the conversation flips.
Yeah, but the console wars begin.
Yep. So and we'll get to this later, but I think the two companies are going different directions. I don't think we're going to see a like true next gen Xbox console. I think we're just going to see new, improved iterations that take advantage of new technology.
Yeah,
I don't think we're ever going to see something again where it's like you have to get new controllers and new headsets and new everything to play on this, and games only for that. You know what I mean? I think those days are done.
Yeah.
For Xbox. Now, I don't think they are for PlayStation. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But anything else on this before we move on, guys?
No.
All right. Destiny 2. There will be no weapon rolling this time around. So what the weapon is what you get. Any thoughts on that? Just something to throw out there, but no rolling weapons anymore.
You roll weapons in Diablo 3. Some people love it. Some people hate it. You know, it's more of a taste thing. You know, I get weapons in Diablo 3 or whatever where you know, you got four great things and one really, really, really crappy thing. So I like being able to re-roll that part of a weapon. So I guess in my mind this is more of a meh for me than it is a yay.
What they did say is they're talking about different ways to make it more interesting, to have different attachments to it, different little tweaks to it. Because the question becomes like, what's the fun in getting a weapon a second, third, fourth, 10th time?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Good.
So I like how I'm not too concerned about it because it really didn't phase me the first go around, but kind of like so I'm guessing when you guys say re-roll, basically you can change the stats, like the attack power, you know, the distance that I can shoot, things like that. So I like the idea that, you know, you can add on upgrades or add on attachments to increase the value or increase the kind of like I like how Borderlands does it. You know, they have, you know, certain types of guns and certain types of weapons, but then you'll get an upgraded version with a different scope or a different rail or things like that. So I kind of like that, you know. So it really doesn't faze me too much.
Okay. Graham, any thoughts? I know you're like the Destiny newbie.
Yeah, no, I don't really have many thoughts on Destiny.
I'm so excited for Graham to get his first taste of Destiny in just a couple weeks with the beta.
Yes, it could be interesting.
It will be interesting. All right. BioWare has stated that Anthem is more of a science fantasy game like Star Wars or Marvel Universe movies than science fiction like Mass Effect. So I think that means it's going to be a little bit more out there, not as much grounded in scientific, you know, fact and reality like planet exploration, more on the action side of it with some science as the background.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Good, Grim.
What do I think? Well, I'm definitely excited for this game, and whether it's science fantasy or more like Mass Effect, like I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, but Andromeda kind of put a bitter taste in my mouth, even though I really haven't given a justified chance. So I think maybe this is a way they're just trying to say, okay, we're not Mass Effect. We're moving away from Mass Effect. We're going to be something different. So I'm definitely excited to see what direction they're going to go in. Like, I don't know how far into the fantasy realm they're going to go, but I'm definitely excited for it. And hopefully there's lots of factions. Hey, dragons, why not? Dragons are pretty cool these days. So, no, I'm definitely looking forward. Can't wait to see more on it.
All right.
Mike?
I pretty much have this. What Graham said, I'm just going to re-say anyway. So, you know, it's one of those we'll see things.
Yeah. I'm excited just to see more of the game. And unfortunately, I think we're going to have to wait till E3 next year, but that's all right.
I
want to see more monsters. I want to see, you know, I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of raid feature to where, you know, I don't know. I think this is going to be a lot more massive than we saw the 4-player co-op, but I really hope that it kind of opens up the world to where you play with a lot more multiple people, maybe do some raids or, go after large beast monsters. I mean, we saw some smaller beasts, things like that. We saw a huge expansive world. So I kind of like that they're just laying it down, that saying that this isn't going to be like Mass Effect. This isn't going to be like Star Wars like we've done before, that this is, this is its own kind of thing.
Next year's Microsoft conference stands to be pretty cool because we should see a lot of this game and we should see Halo 6.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Better than what they brought this year, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up. Eugene, this might be the story you're thinking of with the big news this week. The Super NES Classic officially announced, and it's going to cost $80. Comes with 21 games, and it's only being supplied until the end of the year, although Nintendo has promised they're going to supply more of the game than they did for the NES Classic. Guys, your thoughts? I know we have two big Nintendo fans here, so I'll turn it over to you.
Go ahead, Graham.
Go ahead. Oh, man. It's got me excited, and it's got me worried all at the same time. And the fact that they're announcing that it's only going to be supplied till the end of the year, but they've talked about that they've learned from their mistakes and they're going to make enough. But I heard, I think it was Amazon France, they sold out in 20 minutes. So if that's any kind of indication what we're going to be dealing with, I'm going to be very angry. And like as far as the lineup goes, there's great games, and obviously they're not always going to have every great game that everybody wants. But I think they picked some great games. Link to the Past, come on, I can't wait to play that game again. That was my first like big experience of Zelda, and I love that game so much.
In
but
HD.
There's so many other great games. But I just don't want to get too excited because next time I'm going to know I'm going to be looking at them on eBay for $300. And then I'm just going to be like, come on, guys. Like, don't make me spend $300 on this. I've been fighting to not spend it on the classic NES. And I know there's like mods and stuff like that where you don't need it, but the nostalgia, and it's awesome. Like, as far as systems go, Super Nintendo was my system as in my youth. That's the one that I played the living crap out of. And I still want to replace it with the original one again. But and I keep reading though that a lot of the stores like EB Games and GameStop are limiting one per household. So it's really nice to see that they're trying to help us get these systems. Because I was like on eBay the other day, and this guy had a picture of like probably 20 classic NESs for like $400 or something like that. And I just wish bad things happened to this person. So
you and the rest of the internet, dude.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I'm just being hopeful.
Yeah, I had a guy come in, Eugene, before you go to where I work, and the store got 15 of them in one day, and he bought them all. And
that's not allowed.
I don't think that's how it should go. I think you should get one. I love that companies are enforcing a rule of one. Give everybody a chance to have one. So, my take. But anyway, Eugene, your thoughts.
So, I mean, this is big news for me. I love the Super Nintendo like Graham. It was probably when I really got a hold of games when I was younger. I played Atari, I played NES, but Super Nintendo is what I spent the most hours on. And the list of games, it can't be a more, with the exception of one game, it can't be a more definitive list of games. And I really can't think of another game out there that really should be on this console. Every game, I mean, from Super Metroid, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World.
Mario.
You got Earthbound on there. You got Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition. Nice. I mean, these are all the definitive games. The only game I do wish is on there was Chrono Trigger, but not a big deal. I played that game 1,000 times. I own it. I can't think of a more definitive list, and I can't wait to get my hands on the console. I have never been so into in-stock alerts with this console. I'm following Amazon, I'm following Walmart, I'm following Best Buy, GameStop. I'm following all the sites because they all have the pages up, but nothing yet for pre-order. So I hope it's not like a 2:00 in the morning thing where I'm asleep and I can't catch it. I hope. I just wish it shouldn't have to be a fight.
I know.
It shouldn't be. Just make enough of the console so everyone can buy it, which they've said that we're going to have a lot more of these available for purchase, but they've said that about a lot of things. So I'm gonna make sure that I get this. And Graham, I've already said to you that if I see it, I'm going to text you and let you know. And I'll try to get more than one, but I've already had like 5 other people. Hey, make sure you get me one. It's like, do the work yourself. It's I get all these Twitter alerts and stuff, for all these in stock. So
I've signed up for them too, so I will inform you as well. So
yeah, I can't think
teamwork.
of this is going to be my big thing for the holiday season. You can have every other game. You can have the Xbox One X. I just want a SNES Classic is what I want, and Super Mario Odyssey
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And Destiny 2.
Mike, any thoughts?
Well, Graham, I might be able to help you out with your little problem with not having a Super Nintendo. I've got one sitting over here in pristine condition with 3 controllers and 3 games.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Might have taken that off your hands.
Yeah, maybe. Price is right.
All right.
Yeah.
There is a big to do about the Super NES Classic that's coming out, and that is Star Fox 2.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. That is the holy grail of cartridge collectors. It is very, very, very hard to find. On the ROMs, basically the only thing you can find on a ROM is a beta that was also finished by the user groups and stuff like that, so it didn't crash anymore. So that's huge. And even the
why was it never released? Sorry to interrupt you.
It was very late. It wasn't released.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah, I read it.
Yeah, okay. It was announced. It was in development, and like you said, they had a beta, and the ROM image files leaked out, and some people have made like translations of it and stuff and everything. But it was supposed to be one of the last games of the SNES console cycle, but they invested all of their time into the N64. So that's kind of why it and Mother 3, which is Earthbound 2, the sequel to Earthbound. Were 2 big games that were canceled, so they're hoping for that next. Since this was announced that they're hoping for Earthbound for Switch. So
yeah, so the studio's really excited that it's coming out, with the classic. So
for sure,
I think getting your hands on this SNES is going to be a lot harder than getting it on the first one. So that's pretty much my take.
Don't say that.
No, really, it is. Did they say that? I don't have the list of games in front of me. Is Super Star Wars coming out with it?
No.
Oh, no. Good. Well, then that one I have is still worth money.
Yep. All right. So Sony, Sean Layden has acknowledged that the PlayStation 5 is definitely a thing, but we shouldn't expect to hear about it anytime soon. The story also hinted that this would be a full next-gen console and not just another stronger iteration of what we have now. Very different, in my opinion, from what Microsoft is doing. So Microsoft seems to be, I don't think we're ever going to see an Xbox 2 or whatever you want to call it. I think they're just going to keep putting out stronger versions of the console, just like we see on PCs.
Mm-hmm.
And what does this mean to you guys if Sony comes out with a PlayStation 5 that it's not compatible with PS4 games, with PS4 controllers, headsets, all that stuff? Is that a game changer in your eyes?
I would say besides 4K, what's going to be the big difference between their PS Pro, PlayStation 4 Pro compared to what the PlayStation 5 is going to be? So basically, if it's coming, PlayStation 5, but you need new controllers, you need to buy new headsets, you need to buy maybe not headsets because they've been supporting their Bluetooth.
Yep.
But you're going to force people to buy all these new systems and games, and nothing's going to cross over. At one point, they're going to be like, okay, my PS4 Pro is still amazing. I get kind of 4K resolution. And they'll be like, I'm just going to stick with this, and I don't need a PlayStation 5 because now I got to replace all my controllers. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see what it's going to offer to make people just jump on board and forget everything from the past.
Mm-hmm. Eugene, what do you think?
So, here's the way I look at it. How much better can we get?
Yes.
There hasn't been really, I really haven't been too excited for a new console release. Even with the Xbox One, it is great, and even with the PS4 is great, but the differences between the PS3 or the 360 is really resolution. Ultimately what it comes down to, and power. we don't get the huge console leaps like we did from SNES to N64 or N64. I don't want to say we, but going from the 32, 64-bit graphics, up to the graphics that we have now, we just don't have that excitement anymore. So, I mean, how much better can you get than 4K? Because we don't know what the future holds right now. I mean, what, 8K?
Yeah,
there are 8K TVs.
8K is
There are 8K TVs.
So, I mean, how much better can you get other than they're going to have to put in those extra features like backwards compatibility. If they don't, then I don't see the purpose in it. I mean, more powerful, great. It'll have a 4K Blu-ray player. I hope so, because it would definitely be pointless. But I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see, Sean Layden, to see what the PS5 will hold. But it needs to have all those features. The controller thing, I'm not too concerned about, because the PS4 controller, not that great anyway, and I didn't buy like a PS4 Elite controller, so I don't care. That was one of my big things with the Xbox One, is I wanted to carry over my Elite controller to the Xbox One X, but PS4 doesn't have that. So if they have a new controller, don't care. Bluetooth headset, they've carried over capability, so I'm sure they will. But I think you're right. They need to have backwards compatibility. They need to support the accessories that they've had before. They need to do all that. Along with 4K Blu-ray player, and more. It's got to be more powerful than Xbox One X. But how much better can you get?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Well, you know what? A couple episodes ago, I basically said that there are, like Eugene was just saying, that there are no huge leaps and bounds anymore. There is an expectation to keep up with what is available that's going to be solid shortly. And doing like a PlayStation 5 is fine. What's just going to happen is what happens every other single time a new console comes out. Everybody buys it. Everybody buys new games for it that are available. And it just sort of grows from there. How much it'll grow, I don't know. Will there be backlash because of the way Microsoft is doing it? I don't know. Will there be backlash towards the way Microsoft is doing it? I don't know. Well, what I do know is that they may want to consider taking Famicon's approach from here on out until there are major leaps and bounds coming up. And just, if you plug it into an 8K TV, figure out how to attach something to the current box for it to be able to work correctly with the 8K, or display, or upscale to 8K, whatever it may be. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just sort of sitting there and looking. I don't really care either way.
Kind of numb towards it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for so long that I just don't. When the Xbox One came out, it was great. It was cool. There were problems with it, and then now we got this Scorpio coming up, and it's sort of just like, okay. So there's a noticeable difference, and that's fine. But if I really wanted to be in just constantly upgrading everything like that, I would just get myself a PC. So yeah. I don't know how to put it into words. I'm just sort of just meh. We'll see.
You're fatigued by it all.
Am right now.
Yeah.
You got PS4 going one way, like you said, you got Xbox going the other way, and I don't know which one's going to be better and which one's going to work out better. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. That's the best thing I can say right now.
Sure. And no, I agree. And the funny thing is, it feels like now we get new console iterations more often, but it's actually more rare now than it used to be. Like when we're talking about Super Nintendo to the 64, etc., those were 3-year console life cycles.
Yeah, but there were big differences though.
Yeah, and there were huge differences, and I think there's differences now too, but I think they're more peripheral. I think it's more in the realm of VR and those types of things. But it's also for just visual resolution on the TV and things like that. That's the big thing now. For a lot of people. So 4K is the latest and greatest, and there are such things as 8K TVs. So
let me tell you,
now that'll be the thing.
Let me tell you a small itsy bitsy story. Okay. When I was young, my parents would play Asteroids on the 2600 to the point where, it was nauseating because they had the game all figured out and, they finally go to bed and just whoever had the highest score won. Nobody ever died. So they played the 2600 and I did too. But then my father was friends with a guy who started up a computer business, and we got 2 386s in the house, one for me and one for my mother. And the guy gave me Might and Magic 2 with the 386. And even though it was only EGA 16 color, the graphics difference was just freaking astounding. I just jumped up and said, holy crap, you guys got to come see this. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, neither have I. I'm going to pee a little, And now it's not like that. So when I see something like that come out, then I'll be like, okay, well, I can see what, but now it's just sort of just like, we'll see.
To be fair though, we were all pretty blown away when we saw the true native 4K for.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it looked really, really, really good. It was crisp and
that's why if I watch the E3 conference again, I'm like, okay, I'm getting the Xbox One X, and then after a while, I'll be like, maybe I don't need it. Then I'll watch it again. But I'm just gonna stop watching it.
But in terms of gameplay, I don't see how much more, unless the only thing I could hope for that the next console iteration is we get closer into the PC realm to maybe you can modularize consoles and add on RAM when you want to, make it more powerful, do upgrades. But then you're getting into, like I said, the boundaries of PC, owning a personal computer. But I think that would be interesting. And I would like to see some kind of PC collaboration with Steam, possibly. I mean, we talked about it for E3, but I think it will happen. I think it's bound to happen that we will see consoles that will be very comparable to PCs, to where PCs may even be, not a thing anymore. Where it's just you have a console and you can upgrade it the way you want to.
I don't know about that, man. There will always be PCs.
There's always going to be the PC people, because the most powerful PCs are always going to crush the most powerful consoles in terms of
the update's so much quicker, right?
Yep.
Right, always upgrading.
And you're always upgrading. Yeah.
But you're paying the price for
a lot of money.
You are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move along. So up next, if you are getting an Xbox One X, Forza 7's 4K assets are restricted to that console only, the Xbox One X. And the 4K download, so the download for the 4K version of the game, the entire game, is 100 gigs. That's a lot.
Wow.
So
I eat that for breakfast. Come on.
Yeah. So that's a lot. That's Halo 5 with all of the updates.
Yeah. This is going to become the norm, though. This really is. So, people who don't have a great internet, they're going to be upping their internet, because you're going to need this, especially because if you're streaming these games, or everything's going to be 4K, so everything's going to need more power, more bandwidth. So I think we're getting to the point, though, where people are upgrading their internet, and most internet providers now provide unlimited packages. Yeah. So it's going to be the norm for sure.
Oh, but sir, providers like Cox and stuff like that, United States are starting to revert and start to send out notices saying that now you're going to have a cap.
Now that you say that, I got a call last week from I have Sudden Link, and I got a call last week saying that hey, your package is by the end of the year you're going to have to upgrade to. I know you have unlimited right now, but you have to upgrade to 200 megabytes per second. Yeah, 200 megabytes. I already have 100 right now, but they're like, so you can either keep the 100 and pay $10 extra for unlimited, or you have to just upgrade to the 200. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I will have to get my unlimited, because
I have the same company.
Net neutrality.
I have the same company here. Yeah, net neutrality is the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened. But
that's brutal.
But we have something like here, and they didn't even offer the 100 download for unlimited. They just came in and said 200, because when we first got here, it was capped.
Yep.
And there were some scary last couple days of the month. So, but I worry about people with data caps. I mean, 100 gig download for one game. That's a lot. So,
And
You
I'm
know,
worried about
caps,
places like Australia and like
Yeah.
in Asia, or, you know, some parts of Asia. You know,
Mhm.
they don't. Their fastest speeds are like ridiculous, like 20 megs, which is
Yep.
slow to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel bad for those folks who will take like 3 days to download a game. You know, sometimes
know.
it depends.
Well,
Well,
what do you
yeah.
want? I mean, you know, Australia's this island in the middle of nowhere. You might as well just ship it to the moon. You know.
Hey, now.
Ship the
What?
internet to the moon.
We have listeners from Australia. They're very nice
Yeah,
people.
plus
Hey, Australia, you listening? You guys were a prison colony.
Okay.
I'm sorry you guys have to pay $100 for a new release game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it
and
is.
that you have
It
games
is.
that are censored in your country. I'm
Yes,
so sorry.
that sucks.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, the Xbox One X will automatically download the 4K assets for each game you own, regardless of what kind of TV you're playing on. This caused an internet tantrum this week.
See, I don't
And-
understand. Oh, go ahead.
And the big thing is over. You know, they think that the console should recognize what resolution your TV is and then download the appropriate files. I disagree. I think if you have the console, it's going to recognize, hey, I have the console that can play 4K. And even if I don't have a 4K TV, it's still going to upgrade and make it look better.
Yep.
So it needs some 4K assets to do that.
I disagree with you, sir. If you do not have a 4K TV and you have an Xbox One X, under the manage game settings, there should be an option to download it because it takes up a whole hell of a lot more space. Like you just said, Forza 7's 100 gigabytes, you know? So, you know, it's like I can just see somebody with 17 external hard drives hooked up to the back of their Xbox just because, you know, the 4K assets are being downloaded. It shouldn't be a forced thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see with people complaining and constantly complaining, they'll probably come up with an update that changes this. But I'm
Yeah.
sure day one it's gonna be like this and everybody's gonna complain for a while. And maybe as the library gets bigger, I guess, and with 4K support, they'll come out with an update. But yeah, I kind of agree with Mike. People should get the options. Like it's not a game changer by putting that into the menu. So
I'm fine with
Give
giving
them
the
the
option,
option.
but I don't think the console should have to magically determine which TV you're playing on.
No, that's
and
just
download
dumb.
it accordingly. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I'm
Yeah.
all for
Oh,
the
okay.
option.
All right.
Well, I mean, it knows though. I mean, the Xbox knows whether
Yes,
you're
but-
you're
Right. I know that, but how much do we really need our hands held? And also, I think with the way the gaming's going now and how big these games are going to get, external hard drives are a necessity at this point. That's
They
not. It's not an extra bonus thing. It's a necessity. You're going to get a 1 terabyte hard drive on the One X, and that's going to be gone in 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
you're going
I
to
mean-
have to invest in one.
As the future moves on, my friend, you know, the ease of use thing is, you know, huge. Kind of like when, you know, I was putting together PC boxes when I first started out in the industry. You know, I had to put all the jumpers to put on the right IRQ and DMA, so you know it didn't screw up with the other cards. And nowadays, you know, the software takes care of all that. The BIOS takes care of all that. So you know, it's just how things go. People don't want to dick around with that kind of thing anymore.
Well, but if you have the 4K console and you're leaving it up to assumption,
Mhm.
if you have the 4K console, it's fair to assume you want the 4K game. So that's, I think, fair to assume as well. So if you want to change, you can go into the settings and change something. I hope they put an option in there to change it. But if
the
not,
only thing
but if not, it shouldn't just automatically know what you want and do it for you without being told.
Yeah.
I think the option is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the option is fine. The only thing I worry about is I'm worried about the future proofing of video games. I'm big into physical, you know, so I'm going to buy the physical disc.
Physical.
Yeah.
Physical.
I was thinking
Sorry,
same
go ahead.
thing.
But I like to buy physical discs because I think in the future that I want to play these games, or I want my kids to play them. I'm not going to be able to have those graphics packs if, you know, my hard drive crashes or my Xbox breaks or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a big, huge deal, but it's just something I think about. So I think about hopefully our disc will get upgraded enough to we'll have like quad layer Blu-ray disc where they can hold 200 gigabytes, so it's not a big deal. So they can include all those texture packs and everything, so it's not a day one download for you. So hopefully that's something they put into the future.
As long
you say quad pack Blu-ray, and all of a sudden this Macho Man Randy Savage pops in the head and goes, "Oh yeah,
quad."
Do
they have quad layer yet?
I know
power.
I don't
layer
think so.
Blu-ray, but
yeah. As long as my games are tied to my account and not to my hard drive or to my console, I'm good.
So, yeah. Well, the issue I have was a few months back or whatever, where I couldn't play any digitally downloaded game. That was pretty stressful.
Yeah, I mean,
something went on like that for like 2 weeks, and my library of physical copies is limited. I'd be kind of upset.
Mm-hmm.
Did you call support?
Well, I was online. They were talking about it. It was a thing everybody was dealing with.
Yeah, and usually that only happens if you're doing game sharing on Xbox. You have to have an internet connection to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
It only happens in Canada.
No, it was happening all over the world.
But if you have physical copies, I mean, if you have digital copy and you're on your home console, when you sign in, you should be good, and even without internet. So, but if you're not on your home console, then you have to, verify ownership, and that takes the whole internet connection to do. So, anyway, all right. That's going to do it for news this week. Let's turn over to Graham. Let's see what we can get new in stores.
Well, since E3, we finally hit a slow week for new releases next week. There may not be a lot going on for new releases next week, but we definitely got enough last week to tie us over until we get back to our usual supply of new releases, which I imagine be coming pretty soon. But there are still some new releases slated for next week, so let's get down to it. So starting on July 4th, we have That's You. This game is releasing for PS4. Then on the 5th, we have a game that will be released for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Now this is another LEGO title being released, and this time we're looking at LEGO World's Classic Space. So if you enjoy your LEGO games, there's another one for you. Now following that, on the 6th, we will get 2 releases for the PS4. We will get the new release Toby, The Secret Mine, and then we'll be also getting some new DLC for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I know people are waiting for that. And this DLC is titled Absolution. Now, I imagine it's getting close to their final DLC, seeing they have a new one coming out later this year. So, like I said, it's been a quiet week for it will be a quiet week for new releases. But this is welcomed with open arms for me, and especially my wallet. So let's keep that wallet damage down to a minimum, and to help us, we got Mike here to give us some great deals. What you got for us, Mike?
Nothing.
There you go. Save your money. Don't buy anything.
All right, let's start with the games in gold for July for Xbox. Grow Up is going to be available starting tomorrow. I hear good things about this game. I have not played it, but I am looking forward to it. From July 16th to August 15th, Runbow will be available. Don't know nothing about it. I haven't heard anything about it, so hopefully it's a decent game. On the Xbox, starting tomorrow, you can get Kane and Lynch Dog Days 2. That game is basically from 1989. So, and then at the end of the month, you can always get a sure shot from July 16th to 31st with Pirates of the Caribbean Lego.
Another Lego game.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with Lego games. The only one you can go wrong with is the Hobbit one, because they were supposed to add on the third one to it. They never did, so people kind of got skunked on that one. All right, so we're gonna move over to the PS4. So they got a really good one starting tomorrow. Until Dawn is going to be free. Game of Thrones Full Edition is going to be free. Tokyo Jungle. Dark Stalkers Resurrection PS3, Elemental PS Vita, Don't Die Mr. Robot PS Vita. So that's what they got going on this month. Now I got some good deals with the Xbox. Well, first of all, let me say that the Xbox Ultimate sale is going on right now from 6:30 to 7:10. There are some really good deals, and there are some in there that are not so great. Like for instance, the not so great is Halo Wars 2. They got it for $30 on there, but digitally on Amazon you can get it for $19.99 right now. There are a couple of good ones. Metro bundle is $7.50. That's it. So you get both games for $7.50. That's pretty damn good.
Get it.
And game that's up my alley is Tropico 5. The Ultimate Edition is only $12.50. It's normally $30. So that works for me. But you guys, there are so many games. You got to go through the list, check them out for yourself. So with that being said, Xbox has the Xbox One S 500 gigabytes. Battlefield 1 Special Edition bundle, Storm Gray, so it looks different than the rest of them. Factory refurb, $189.99 at Walmart right now. I get on that immediately if you can. Now we got a bunch of things for free money. We got right now a gift card, $25 gift card for Xbox. Instant delivery, $20.99 via cdkeys.com, and cdkeys.com is legit. So if you got the extra cash, you might as well. You get $4 for free. Xbox One wireless controller, blue, black, or white. The newest versions are $19.99 via Groupon with promo code extended.
Wow, that's a good deal.
That you need to get on that there.
Yeah, I should buy 3.
Destroyer of Worlds and controllers. And like I said, Halo Wars 2 is actually $19.99 via Newegg with promo code EMCRGDR55. And that's going to do it for Xbox right now. Let's go to PS4. All right. Now, I don't know why this is listed in the PS4 thing, but Seagate's pushing their Fire CUDA right now, which is an SSHD, 2 terabyte for $74.99 at Newegg. So, if you're looking to add on, that's really good. And it's really fast, too. So you can't go wrong with that. $50 PSN credit is $40 at PayPal via eBay right now. So that's $10 free money. That's really good. You got Titanfall, $23 on Amazon right now. Controller and Call of Duty for $70 right now. That's Infinite Warfare. I don't have any more details on that, but yeah. So, and lastly, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness is $14.79 on Amazon.com right now. There was one interesting thing in the Switch arena right now. ThinkGeek is actually just 2. ThinkGeek is actually starting to sell Switch bundles now, around $420. eBay has $50 Nintendo eShop digital gift card right now for $40. Limited quantity available, but is still valid and still going as of right now because this just came out 2 hours ago. So that's going to do it for me. What we got for questions, Eugene?
All right. So, Tyler, first, did you have any questions?
Yes. Let me go find it here real quick. I have it.
I'll go ahead and read.
Yeah, go ahead first.
We didn't have many on our Facebook page this week, so be sure to go to our Gaming Culture Radio forums, and we post a question post for you to put your questions up, and you have a chance to win our giveaway. And we have a question from Sean Capusta.
Wait, before you read that, do you notice that we all have the stutters today, and I have no idea why?
I know I don't because I'm amazing.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day for all of us.
So we're
still recovering from E3. So
we're okay though.
We can only use this excuse for so long, guys. E3 is getting behind us.
Well,
it'll be December. We're still recovering from E3.
Now we can use it up till Gamescom, and then we'll be recovering from Gamescom. Yeah. So good to go. Anyway, go ahead, Eugene.
All right. So Sean wants to know what we think about Nintendo producing these mini classics, and if you think there will be others like a Game Boy or N64. And then he's also wondering, what do we think about peripheral add-ons for phones, so you can basically play emulators on your phone or classics on your phone. So I would be lit over a Nintendo 64 classic, bunch of N64 games on there. I don't know if we'll see it anytime soon, because I think a lot of those games from the N64 they will be pushing on the eShop and Virtual Console whenever they do come out for the Nintendo Switch. So I don't know how much they'll be pushing on those, but I will bet that we'll see it eventually. Probably not in the next year, but next couple of years, I don't see why not. The Game Boy, I would love. I would love to have another portable game system with maybe 20 to 30 classic Game Boy games on it. I think that'd be a fun thing to have. What do you guys think?
I think I had a lot of fun with the Game Boy, but before they backlit the screen, it would cause tears and agony and tantrums and stuff like that. That's what I remember most from the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they came out with a Game Boy edition, the 64 and the Game Boy edition would be the ones that I would be, looking to buy. Let's see here. I don't like playing games on my phone. I really don't. Besides stuff like Dice with Buddies, or maybe even Words with Friends.
Your turn-based, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't like playing. I don't like sitting there and trying to play Street Fighter on my phone or anything like that. It doesn't appeal to me. However, let's see here. What was the question again? I just had a brain.
What is our deal? Okay, so the N64 Classic, N64 Classic.
Yes. What about it?
Would you want one?
Yes.
Yeah. So okay? So you talk. I thought you just talked about Game Boy.
I just brain-farted myself apparently.
I think we're gonna see classics of every console up until the Wii.
They'd stop making money from it,
how are you gonna do a classic of the Wii?
Yeah, I would say they're going to keep putting them out till I can actually get my hands on one of them.
Yeah.
So we could be up to the Switch by then.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. What do you think? Like the chances are they put something on there like Super Smash Brothers, and what do you think the price would be? That because going up to 80 now for the SNES is like the 64 going to be $150. I mean, where we at with this?
Well,
this is where the Raspberry Pi comes into.
I think they're going to measure. I think they're going to measure sales versus demand again this time, and if they're running out again, I think the next one's going to be $100.
But dude, they don't pay attention.
You think they'll jack up the price?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
They don't pay attention to that because if they did, they would still be rolling out the regular classic.
No, but Nintendo for the longest time has always dealt in short supply to keep demand high for their products, and this is no different.
They can't stand profit.
I know, but whatever. But it's what they've always done.
Well, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just like,
But I would think we're going to see a 64 Classic. Now, will we get a GameCube Classic? At one point, it's got to taper off and stop.
It's going to stop, yeah.
I think we'll see it. I think we'll see it through GameCube. I do.
Maybe up to GameCube and then stop there, which is perfectly fine because now you're getting up to systems that are not that old and the nostalgia is gone or people still own those systems. Right. So I think up to GameCube, which would be great because I'm sure there's been amazing GameCube games that I missed out on, and then to give people a chance to play Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. So yeah, I will try to get one.
You can play it on Xbox right now.
Yeah,
you can play on Xbox, but it was nice playing with the GameCube and the GameCube controller. So and Metroid, that'd be another great one to have on there. So I definitely
the Metroid Prime collection. I think so. I think what it'll come down to is eventually they'll put everything on the Virtual Console, hopefully, or they'll come up with collection cartridges for the Switch and beyond. I don't see them coming up with a GameCube classic. I don't see that.
I do. I think if they sell, they're going to keep making them.
Right, but I don't know. That's
the thing is, the people these things are made for are like me specifically, because after the NES, I didn't own a single Nintendo console.
Wow.
The Switch is the first Nintendo console I've owned since the NES as a little kid.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. So
no Mario World? No Mario also?
No, because I had because as a little kid I had Genesis. And then PlayStation 1.
I had PlayStation 1.
And then original Xbox.
Wow.
360.
Me too.
No Super Nintendo.
And now Xbox One and PS4.
So, Mike, you said you have a Super Nintendo. Do you have Super Mario World?
Yeah, I have All Stars.
Tyler. No, Mario World. Super Mario World.
Well, All-Stars, some All-Stars came with plus Super Mario World.
Oh, okay. Do you have that one?
I'm not sure. I don't have the cartridge in front of me.
Tyler, I feel like paying you to go play that.
Well, I mean, you can play it. It'll be on Virtual Console, and it was on Virtual Console on the Wii U. I mean, it's going to come out.
I feel like I'm going to get more run out of Virtual Console than I will out of new Switch games. Well,
I know it. I know it at least has 1, 2, and 3 in the Lost levels.
Yeah, I know that one. Which
I think that's the one I have. I don't know if
it didn't come with
on it or not. Oh, okay.
So yeah, but yeah, I think that people like me are exactly who these things are made for.
Yeah, unfortunately, you should get the SNES Classic.
Unfortunately, I can't get my hands on them, so it sucks. But I really do want the SNES one, like even more so than the NES, because I as a little kid, I remember playing a lot of the NES games, but the SNES I've never played really any of these. So this is something that I definitely want to try out, and I love that the cord's longer this time around. We didn't mention
yes,
yay! So, here's the Nintendo learning and catching up.
The cord on the Super Nintendo, the original ones over here, is like 16 freaking feet long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were long for sure.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. But anyway, all right. I have a question.
Find your question, Tyler.
I did. I have a question here from Alex Sullivan. He's talking about the need for 4K consoles right now, given the adoption rate of 4K TV. So, without 4K TV programming switching to 4K yet, do you see the casual gamer being focused on the Xbox One X and other systems like it going forward, or do you see them sticking behind with the other systems? So I'll go on this first. I think there's this misconception out there that 4K TV adoption is really slow, and it's not. It's happening so much faster than HD TV adoption did, because the TVs are getting cheaper much quicker. Like, you can get a full 4K with HDR now, and in my opinion, the best TV for the money still is the Vizio P Series. You can get the Vizio P Series with HDR 50-inch for $800. That, 3 years into the technology, you never would have gotten it with HD TV.
That is an amazing deal.
Yeah.
So, and I can tell you, I have a 65 of it, the same model, but a 65, and the 4K is stunning. The HDR is amazing. It is a really, really good television. And, I know that a year from now, I'm going to kick myself. I'm going to look at what I paid versus what it is, which you can't do. You just have to swallow it.
You'll always kick yourself at that point.
But I'm going to tell you, by this holiday, that the 65 is probably going to be $1,000 or maybe $1,200. And for a 65-inch HDR Ultra 4K, TV, that is a steal. For as good as this TV is for gaming and sports, which is what I care about the most, it's perfect. And it's I think this adoption rate is going to happen much faster. Now, I'll caution everybody again before I turn it over to everybody else. Do not buy a 4K TV unless it has HDR.
HDR10.
See, but
don't make the same mistake I did.
Yep. If you buy a 4K without HDR, you are missing out on the technology. And the HDR almost has more impact than the 4K itself.
See, this is what I was telling you, man. What I was going to say is people see the price tag on the UHDs and they just go buy UHD. So you have to wait, for that wave to go away before they go, oh, crap. And then they go buy an HDR.
But the thing is, they don't advertise that it's HDR either. Like, sometimes you got to look in the specs and find it.
And that's why I stress it here. They do now, right? Like, right across the usually in the upper left corner, they'll put a bar, like a banner across it, like high dynamic range.
Yeah.
Technology. And HDR10 is the way to go. You could have HDR10 is the only thing that's going to work on Xbox. So the Dolby will not work. So you have to have HDR10. And Vizio, I was lucky enough because I wanted this TV, and they originally had Dolby, and they updated all Vizio TVs to have HDR10. So it works perfectly. It's beautiful. It's great. And I'm telling you that the price of these TVs are going to come down so fast. But that's why I stress on this show, like, get HDR, because you can go out there and you can get like an off-brand name TV in like 50 or 55 inch for probably $300 and say you have a 4K TV, but you really don't.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
like I was saying with the UHD thing. You remember I told you about the story
Mhm.
about my friend Sam. You know,
Mhm.
she goes out and buys a TV and asks me what I think, and I said you should have got an HDR, and she's like, why? And I'm like, because this, and this, and she's like, I don't care, it's good enough. Okay, all right.
But
Okay.
but you and you know that's what everybody says because they want to defend their decision, right? But
Yep.
but you will have buyer's remorse. So do the research. Anytime you're going to invest that kind of money in something, research it. Like I honestly researched these TVs for like 6 months before I made a final decision on what I was going to get.
Tyler, you are a hell of a researcher.
Well, but if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to make sure that it's
Yeah,
what
I
I
know.
want.
Oh, I always research the crap out of
So-
stuff when I'm looking to buy,
Yeah.
especially if it's a significant purchase.
And there's
Yeah,
there's a fantastic, don't take my word for it. There's a great website out there, ratings.com, and it's spelled a little weird. It's rtings.com. And it rates all the 4K TVs. All you gotta do is punch the model number in, and it rates it for all the things you like. So some people they care more about movies and broadcast television. Some people care more about gaming and sports, like I do. And it rates all those things individually, along with the HDR of the TV. So, and once I went there, this TV became the obvious choice for me. So
Would this rating site rate how terrible you are at NHL?
no, because it's accurate.
No, the score does after we lose so many games.
Yeah, that's a team effort, though, I have to say. But anyway, I'm not the one who always. I'm not the one who always wants to test to make sure the red light behind him works. So
Somebody named DA. We won't say full name, but DA.
So,
Yeah, we'll call him Daw.
I mean, he's always, it's like he's doing a quality check at the beginning of the game because the first shot.
Yeah, he's like, I want to make sure the light works back there just in case.
It's like he's got money on the game and he's like playing pool. He gives him the 9 ball,
I mean, I'm fairly certain that when we play the NHL 18 beta, the score is just going to start out 1-0 for the opening face-off, and they're just going to say don't even bother this time. But anyway, all right. What other questions do we have? By the way, real quick, by the way, I'm sorry, but I saw the Game Boy handheld attachment.
Yes,
that looks cool. What do you guys think about that for cell phones?
It's been out for a while.
It says Samsung, and I own an iPhone, so no good for me.
It's only for Samsung. That sucks.
I'm pretty sure they have an iPhone version, but you have to jailbreak your phone to be able to play emulators and stuff. So
can you guys tell me something real quick?
Yeah.
Would the attachment be the actual crosshair in the AB?
Yes.
Yeah,
it goes on the bottom. That is actually something I would play on my cell phone then.
Yes, I would too.
Actually something I'd play on my cell phone.
And it covers up like half your screen, so the screen is like literally the size of the Game Boy screen.
Oh, okay.
And it adjusts it for that. So I think that'd be cool. But
anyway,
it's
Samsung.
But it's only free.
Has a Samsung.
Personally, I like the Moga controllers. You can get one for about $40, and it plays just like an Xbox controller, and it has a mount for your phone. But my deal is I'm on my phone too much with work and everything, and my phone would just die. I don't play enough on my phone, so I used to be big into it, and especially with Android downloading emulators, but then I would never play them. So I would like a dedicated handheld to carry around if I was going to do anything.
That's
so
fair enough.
Game Boy Classic, bring it.
Yep, I like that idea. All right, sorry, go ahead. Other question.
Okay, which one you got, Eugene? I want to make sure to.
So which one? What do you mean?
You got a question?
Yeah. Just one question. Are you guys going to buy anything from the Xbox game sale? Rami Tabari asked, are we going to buy anything? I'm going to buy a Metro just so I can play it on Xbox. I've been on an Xbox kick lately. I have it on a PS4, but I never beat the second one, so I want to go back and play it. So I will definitely buy that for, if it's only $8, I'm totally going to buy it.
I'm definitely getting Metro too. And by the way, happy birthday, Rami. It's your birthday today.
Happy birthday, Rami.
Happy birthday,
Rami's a big friend of the show. He's been on a few times. We're going to have him on again soon. So happy birthday to you, my friend. Hope it goes well. It's been a great day.
Yeah.
Definitely Metro for me.
Better be drunk.
So,
yeah.
Make your next one, dude. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna pick up Chopco 5 for $12.50. I mean, that's great sale. So.
Oh man.
For me, I've already picked up both Wolfenstein games.
And it comes with all the DLC
on Steam though, so I'll probably peruse it, and I don't know. I'm not really wanting to get another game, but if I see a really good deal that I feel like I gotta jump on it, then I probably will.
One more.
What's your problem, Mike?
I might grab Wolf Among Us for the sale price. Is that
my favorite Telltale game?
I've never had a chance to play it, and I keep hearing awesome things about it. So
yeah, I've heard it's like arguably the best Telltale game.
It is,
and I've never played it.
You're so non-committal, Grammy.
Any other questions before we move along?
Yes, I actually have a Twitch question.
Oh, awesome!
This one comes from DC52.
Oh boy,
he says,
"Oh Jesus,
do you think Xbox would be a better place to play with games on launch like SOS, PlayerUnknown, H1Z1?" And then it said, would it build Xbox's player base?
Sure, absolutely. But we're getting PlayerUnknown
Battlegrounds.
Yeah, we're getting that in October, November. So we'll find out then. But as far as the other ones go, sure, it would help build the player base a ton.
H1Z1 is on the downslope right now. That's put out by the people who actually bought out Sony Online Entertainment. And they don't know how to run anything, and that's why Sony just said, we're not going to do this anymore. You can buy it, or we'll just tank it. Which is the same people that now own EverQuest, EverQuest 2, and all that kind of stuff. So, but PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is definitely coming out very shortly for the Xbox, and that's definitely going to help. It is. So I'm going to play it, and it's always like number 3 to 6 on Twitch. So yeah. Hey DC, try stopping that first one, buddy.
Yeah, I bought Battlegrounds PlayerUnknown on my PC, and I'm getting primed for when this comes out on Xbox, and I'm gonna jump on it. But I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game. I've watched this game on Twitch a few times, and it looks like just a great game to play online with friends. Get like a team of 4 or maybe even smaller, and just go out and try to not die. Watch that countdown from 100 and see how long you last.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
That's it on my side.
Eugene, anything else?
No, not questions wise.
All right, let's announce our winner for June. We said we were gonna last week, in the interest of time, we're gonna announce our June winner today. So that winner is Mr. Blake Post. Actually, I think for the second time in June. So congratulations, pretty new member.
Congratulations.
You are, and by the way, this is also because I know from our Facebook group that you had just picked up a new Xbox One S. So congratulations again, and you're going to have Micro Machines World Series to play on it, courtesy of XboxCulture.net. And thank you to them for providing the code for us for this monthly giveaway. So that's pretty awesome. So Blake, get in contact with me, and we'll get you that code. All right. Eugene, did you want to go over our results from our predictions for E3 real quick?
Yeah, so we had I made a commitment for E3. So our E3 predictions for the co-host here, we tallied up predictions to how many we accurately predicted. So I'm going to go ahead and go over those, and I'm going to start off with Mike.
None of mine were addressed.
Mike, you had 0 points, unfortunately. So
I had more than 0 points because I was right on one of them.
So what was the one you're right on?
I can't remember.
Okay.
But we discussed it on one show, and you're like, I'll give you 1/8 of a point. And I said, I'll give you 1/8 of my foot up your butt.
Okay. I will give you 1/8 of a point as promised. So you had 1/8. I think what it was you said 449 for the Xbox One X.
Yeah, that's right. That's the Euro price.
Yeah, so you said it's the Euro price, but we'll go ahead and give it to you, but I wish I had the Price is Right. Yeah, I was gonna play the Price is Right buzzer right now, but
all right, move on.
All right, so next we'll go with Tyler. So Tyler, if you had a partial prediction, I gave you a half a point. So Tyler, you got one full point, which was actually 2 partial points for your score, because you had 2 partial predictions. The first one was for Microsoft announcing the Scorpio is going to be releasing earlier than the late November window. So I went ahead and gave you a half point for that. Your full prediction was $3.99 along with that. So I'll give you a half point there.
Okay.
The second one was I gave you a half point for Cuphead will be shown in a big way, and Microsoft will announce that it is either available on the day of the conference or as a headliner for the new Summer of Games. So they did announce it. I consider a big way that they put a release date on it.
Yep.
So
What a crap prediction.
Yeah, I gave you a half point for that, but your other ones, even your one that was way out there, not correct. So one full point.
All right.
Moving on to me. I had one full point, which was actually 2 half points. I didn't have any full predictions. The first one was for it will release within the dates of the Zodiac sign, which was from October 23rd through November 21st. There was a lot of rumors out there that it's coming out on like the 10th or the 16th or something like that. But I stuck with that window, so I got a half point there. The other part of my prediction was $3.99, which I was wrong. The other half point was for the Pokemon Switch title being announced, but I said this November, and I also said Super Mario Odyssey will be in close proximity. Well, Super Mario Odyssey is now coming out earlier. It's coming out in October, correct?
Yes.
Originally it's December. They're saying holiday, so it's coming out in October, so I gave myself a half point for that. So 1 full point. So right now, me and Tyler are tied. Let's move on to Graham.
Best for last?
Let's not.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, let's go and end the show, guys.
All right.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right, so Graham.
Thanks for listening.
Graham got 3 full points.
Wow.
So I will tell you how Graham got 3 full points. None of his typical predictions. None of his typical predictions got any points. They're worth 1 individual point. But I posted on the site that if your off the wall prediction was announced, that you would be getting 3 points, which is basically an instant win. And Graham's off the wall prediction was Nintendo will announce a new Switch Metroid game.
Yes. I'm so excited.
So you announced
You stole that shit from me.
I didn't know. Oh, no,
Yes,
there's
you
no
did.
way.
So it was kind of off the wall. We thought Metroid was dead for a long time, but lo and behold, Metroid Prime 4 was announced. So 3 full points to Graham. We didn't get announced. And I don't know, guys. I'll let you guys decide.
I'm more excited about the game
He
than
said
winning.
Metroid on the Switch, but they never said it was going to be on Switch, did they? They just said Metroid
No,
Prime.
they did. They announced for Switch.
Yeah, they did announce for Switch. Everything on that show.
I was trying to get out of it.
Well,
All right.
I can get out of it by saying, I mean, really? I mean, I don't know if that's that off the wall.
Well, come on now. Come on.
I mean, I don't
Gene
know.
said it was dead in the water. It's
I mean, I might as well made. I should have made my off the wall that Microsoft's going to have a Forza game this year.
Not to mention the fact that like a month ago I said.
Can I have my moment, guys? Can I have
Yes,
my
you
moment?
can have your moment.
We'll give you Canada wins something for a change.
Everybody's like, nah. I'm like,
It's like the Olympics when they get a gold medal. It's something special. So
It's Canada's birthday, celebrating 150
Yes,
years of
that's
relying
true.
on us for everything. So it's
Yay.
So as
and now relying on us for a free game.
As
So,
promised. As promised,
congratulations,
Graham, I will
Thank you.
buy you a game. I will buy you a game up to $60 this holiday season. So you pick, and I will get it for you, and you won't have to worry about it. Whatever, you win.
Eugene,
Congratulations.
get him Destiny 2, or he's not going to get it. He's going to talk himself out of it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it, but I was
Did you?
actually Destiny 2 was when I was thinking about because I knew it was gonna be when we all play online together. So I didn't want to be selfish and get you to buy me one that I play by myself. So I was gonna share my reward with you guys.
Canada blood again. Shut up. Late night over there.
I'll give you a second option too. If I do get a second Super
Yes,
Nintendo Classic,
SNES Classic.
and if you don't get it, I will ship it for free to Canada. But you still have to pay for it because it's $80, which is like $100 Canada. So,
you're gonna be a $60 shipping fee.
man, shipping
It
to
might
Canada
be.
like express is like for a box like that would probably be like $30 or $40.
Graham,
Hey,
it was
don't
like-
you
it was
know
like-
you got a greased out wheel? What,
Well,
I would take that. I would be glad. to take
jive
it.
ass turkey?
Graham, it was like
Plus, like, me having
$25 to ship your
We have
little
to go
Link
shop
figure.
for it, stand in line, and I have friends that are like, "Hey, if you get a second one, I'll buy it from you." So like I'm putting you first, buddy.
Oh, you
Thanks,
don't have
man.
any
I
friends.
appreciate
Who are you
that.
trying to get?
Putting you first there, buddy.
I'm his
Oh,
friend. I'm his
just-
friend.
So your
get him-
choice.
Get him a game, and he'll be fine, and he'll get the NES.
No, you won't.
Yeah, he will.
You know,
I
what
hope he
Because
asks
I know that Graham's learned his lesson this time, and Graham's gonna be somewhere at freaking midnight when that thing comes out.
Well, listen, I would have got the NES Classic on launch. I went on Amazon.com and he said you don't ship to Canada, and I got screwed.
Well,
'Cause
don't you
I-
know that everything that ends in Canada is CA, eh?
Yes, but I ordered tons of stuff off .com.
You
And
do?
for some reason, you couldn't
I
get
don't
the
know what your
Switch.
guys' problem is. I walked into Walmart twice and got a NES Classic. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't even think about it. I
I'm
tried to get it
surprised
off.
they're not
Amazon.
I
sitting
also
on
went
the
in at
shelves
midnight
in
the
this
first
city.
time. Yeah, I
This-
went in at
this
midnight
city.
the first time.
All right.
Alrighty,
Anything
guys.
else, gentlemen? Congratulations, Graham.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you jerk.
Thanks.
All right. So, anything you guys are working on for the site? I just wrote a review of the Golf Club 2, which you can check out there, and actually doing really well views wise, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, I actually read it while I was waiting for you guys for the podcast,
Mhm.
and it's very well written, and I like
Thank
it.
you.
If I was into golf games, I would definitely be playing it.
How much is it retail?
40.
40, yeah, $39.99.
If it goes on sale, I love the golf games, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna pay 40, but
Yeah, it'll be on sale probably pretty soon for in that $25 range, I would guess. I mean, it's very much a simulation game. It doesn't have all the frills of PGA Tour, especially in the online portion. But I gave it an 8 out of 10 for there's some wonky bounces in there, and I especially experienced that today. But
I told you.
But overall, I think the physics of the game react the way it should for a golf game, and I think there's a lot of challenge there for people who dominated that PGA Tour. Like honestly, I did and Mike did. So there's a lot of challenge there that wasn't in the PGA Tour game. So I enjoy it. I think there's a lot of fun in it for people of all different skill levels. So yeah, and you guys are working on Eugene or Graham?
Eugene?
I just have the same thing that it should be up by this weekend. I'm going to be doing an article about Game of the Year 2017 so far. So we're halfway through the year.
Cool.
So I'm going to line up the games that have come out that could be some contenders and write about them.
So
Cool.
am I still in on this thing?
Still on
Yes.
this thing. No.
Hey,
No, this is just for me.
Oh, that's just for you. Okay.
Yeah.
This isn't one of your like. Okay. All right.
No,
Everybody's on
Those
board.
things are a headache. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
This
now
is
I
just
got-
for me.
Yes, they are a headache, and I gotta ask you: Are you just doing Xbox, or are you doing all systems?
I will be doing for the site just Xbox. So I'll be
Okay.
considering games, and then I'll be lining up in there the release dates of what we have
Yeah.
coming up for this year.
I think that's a more interesting conversation actually for Xbox because I think the Legend of Zelda is the runaway winner so far for Game of
Yeah.
the Year.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure. I'm going to be talking about like the best shooter, and best strategy, best
Okay.
puzzle, all these different kinds of things.
That's cool. Graham, anything?
For my side of things, I'm working on a piece where I'm going to be working on it about timed exclusives. About basically my impressions on it, and do I think it's a good idea or do I think it's hurting the industry? And basically, why do they have to have them?
Can you do me a favor when you're doing that and talk? Yeah, it's your article. Sorry, but talk about the stupid Modern Warfare remastered. Like
Yes,
how is that as a time exclusive of any length of time? That is a 10-year-old game.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
that is pretty stupid.
So
Plus,
and
it's
that,
$40, which is
Yeah.
even.
and and that's where I give Phil Spencer credit. I know some people think I'm an Xbox fanboy, and try not to be, but where I give Phil Spencer credit for coming out and saying agreements like that are dumb, and he's had them put in front of him, and he said no because that's not what's best for players. Because he thinks they hurt the industry.
They do hurt the industry.
And I'll give him
And
credit
they're-
for that because he turns them away and Sony eats them up. And Sony does a lot of awesome things, but I hate the way they're going with these exclusives. I just do. And there's still Destiny 1 content that Xbox players have never played. And I think that's
There'll
wrong.
be Destiny 2 that
Yep.
we probably won't get to play, which I'll be playing Destiny 2 on Xbox. So
Yeah.
missing a PvP map and a raid. So,
and I think that's wrong when you're paying the same price. So
yeah, so I think a lot of people
anyway.
agree with it, and there's lots of information on there. So I'll try to get there as soon as possible, and then people can go to xboxculture.net and check it out.
Awesome.
All
right, cool. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
All right, so head
Time
on
for the
over.
Great Space Coaster.
Yeah, just a reminder, head on over to Facebook, join our Facebook forums, Gaming Culture Radio forums. You too can have a chance to win prizes. Blake won twice in the month of June between E3 and our monthly giveaway. There are hundreds of people listening to our show that are not part of our Facebook group, so please head over and join.
We love you all.
The Gaming Culture.
You guys want to win some stuff? Get on there. It doesn't take that much effort. Come on.
Nope. And again, it is the Gaming Culture Radio forums. For all your gaming news, head on over to xboxculture.net and playstationculture.net. And thanks to them again for getting us the code for Micro Machines to give away. That's awesome. So
thank you.
The relationship with them continues to benefit you. So that's awesome. And outside of that, I can't think of anything else. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for listening.
Beating the horse.
We have. So thank you so much for listening to episode number 60 of Gaming Culture Radio. And until next week, we'll be back with episode number 61. But until then, stay safe, everybody. Have a great week and play some great games. We'll talk to you next week.
Happy gaming, everyone.